Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. There is an XRP community member who actually does have a financial background, and he has made the case for the floodgates effectively opening in terms of Grayscale's holdings, which is a hedge fund. Their XRP holdings just skyrocketing. He literally used the word skyrocketing, and I will explain to you what he meant and why he's talking about this. And he had mentioned this a few times. I think he even direct messaged me sometime in the past, and I don't believe I've ever shared this idea on the channel before, so when it popped up again and he ultimately tagged me, I thought, yeah, I should just share with you this perspective because I don't have a financial background of any kind, to be super duper clear, and I'm not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write, but he has a perspective as a result of what he does career-wise that I haven't seen anybody else talk about in terms of what's going to happen in terms of XRP being purchased in a major way. Then we have this headline from Decrypt. I love this, man. Better late than never, right? Here's the title. JPMorgan tells investors Bitcoin is next big thing. A decade too late? This is rich. And not that I'm going to get like super told you so in your face, you should have, you're late to the party type of stuff, maybe a little bit. But I'm just glad that they're finally recognizing that the crypto asset class is certainly here to stay. Is Goldman Sachs ever going to fall in line, though? I think the answer is yes. Wait till they monetize some sort of position having to do with crypto, period. And then, yeah, they'll start singing a different tune, which is what happened with JPMorgan. But they got to a position where they are monetizing just the crypto asset class in certain ways because they realized it makes sense. And so they are publicly stating different things here. Also makes me wonder how many stories are we going to have way down the road, like if you fast forward 1 decade from today, about people that are finally getting that XRP is really here to stay. We're probably going to have to wait a decade, right? I would certainly hope not. But I'm just saying it will increasingly become clear that XRP is not going away. The more time passes. Of course, there's always an opportunity for something to go horrendously wrong that's unforeseen, and so that's why I always acknowledge, yeah, this, like, what we're doing is high risk. Let's not pretend it's not. But it doesn't speak to my confidence. I'm certainly very confident in the long-term viability of XRP. But anyway, before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap the like button, I would appreciate the support. And also, I recommend that you treat yourself, girl, by subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel, because you got nothing better to do with your time, so take my free content. Here's a tweet from the Cryptic Poet, who wrote, I love it when Grayscale advertises its XRP trust. Then he had a link and a couple screen grabs there, and this is where XRP community member Frecky jumped in. I got a couple tweets from him. But he wrote, for those that don't understand the assets under management, XRP Trust is only low due to not being made public yet. Once a trust becomes open to retail like majority of their funds, the assets under management will skyrocket. Keep that in mind if you don't understand how this works. And which is a little fun insight that I certainly didn't have, and I don't pretend to know everything, certainly not. I love learning and then sharing what I learned with you and learning from you. And so this is great where as a community we can share things that we know, and I'm going to use this platform now to share somebody else's perspective about what this means. And admittedly, I also didn't do a refresher on what the Grayscale's holdings of XRP were. I know that within the last, 30 to 60 days, their holdings actually of XRP did double. In terms of percentage of their crypto holdings, though, admittedly, I'm going from memory, so I apologize if I'm wrong, but I know it's low. It's single digit. It's like 3-point-something%. I don't know, it's 3.8, 3.9. You get the idea. It's not much, but that's kind of what Frecky's getting at here, which is it's going to be substantially more. And my understanding is also that they are holding the crypto on a one-to-one basis. So if that does indeed skyrocket, you can imagine what that would do in terms of the supply and demand mechanics. I don't have to explain that, right? And this is just one hedge fund, and there's going to be a whole lot more activity like this, methinks, in the future. Right, I'm sorry, actually I forgot that he had it right here, because here's the other one. This is the one where Frecky tagged me. Here's what he wrote, and I'll pull this up in just a sec, this little screen grab he wrote. To understand this better, view the chart below. Once a trust is made public, meaning open to retail and institutions over the counter, they will generate a ticker and be tradable. Like how we use tickers GBTC and ETHE for Bitcoin/Ethereum exposure in client portfolios. So I'm very appreciative that Frecky took the time to tag me and share this. And so here on the screen now, you can see Grayscale's assets under management. Up here, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, that's right at the top. And then you can get down here to Grayscale XRP Trust. And so substantially less. I mean, the chart's on your screen. Feel free to take a look. If Frecky's right, though, and he very well may be, we'll see how this unfolds, but this number is going to be a lot bigger in the future. And I'll tell you what, I know what I hate, and I don't hate that. Take a look at this story now. JPMorgan tells investors Bitcoin is next big thing, a decade too late? Yeah, no kidding. Crypto is not going away. Bitcoin could have staying power forever, too. Always happy to... I prefer that. Happy to acknowledge that. But here you go. The bank has come a long way since its CEO slated the cryptocurrency in 2017. Bitcoin as an investment is solidly competing with gold thanks to millennials, JPMorgan reportedly said yesterday in a note to investors. The investment bank said Friday that the potential long-term upside for Bitcoin is considerable, as millennials would become over time a more important component of investors' universe, according to a report by Business Insider. The U.S.'s biggest bank by total assets added that, quote, even a modest crowding out of gold as an alternative currency over the longer term would imply doubling or tripling of the Bitcoin price. And yeah, and if you're talking about just doubling or tripling, that's about the most conservative approach that I hear from like any entity that even talks about this. Because then if you're talking about doubling, I mean, fine, it would have smashed through its all-time high at that point, but only by a little baby boo bit. Anyway, and despite Bitcoin typically labeled as a store of value, JPMorgan added that the biggest cryptocurrency by market cap could be used for what it was originally intended to do, buy things. And here's a quote. Cryptocurrencies derive value not only because they serve as stores of wealth, but also due to their utility as means of payment, the bank reportedly said. The more economic agents accept cryptocurrencies as a means of payment in the future, the higher their utility and value. And I think it would be better to expand even beyond that, because as far as the use case replacing the usage of fiat currency with cryptocurrency, there's not enough friction there in most corners of the world for that to be significantly important right now. And technologically, it's still an issue, but even if you set that aside, how many people listening to this have trouble spending money in their daily lives? You know, the only people that are having trouble spending their money they're probably just spending too much, which is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about functionally, either using paper money or, swiping a credit or debit card. How many of you are actually having trouble that listen to this? I'm willing to bet that it's close to 0%. And so what problem are you functionally solving? Which is why I think there's increasing market uncertainty as time passes. Not even just that. Let's talk about one of the biggest ones. Seriously, really, just the idea of hyperinflation, which has happened to certain fiat currencies in recent history. Well, yeah, you can start to make an argument about how organically usage can shift in countries where there actually is friction, where there actually is a problem utilizing a fiat currency. That's reasonable. But for most people, no. And so then you should really get to, what about the other use cases, which is why I'm glad that JPMorgan actually is acknowledging the importance of utility. And does XRP have utility? Yes. Yes, absolutely. It's being used today in enterprise-grade software. As far as I'm concerned, that freaking matters more than a little bit. Just saying here. Now, Bitcoin is still a small asset class, the bank added, and in order to catch up with gold, its value would multiply tenfold. Bitcoin's market cap is $242 billion, according to metrics site CoinMarketCap. The gold market is worth several $1 trillion. As JPMorgan was previously anti-Bitcoin, its CEO Jamie Dimon in 2017 famously called the cryptocurrency a fraud. Which is hysterical, because who's fraud and who then? Because it's just a decentralized blockchain. There isn't some sort of central authority. It never made any damn sense. But there you go. They weren't making money off it back then. Now they are. Story has flipped. But I guess those... Fine, so they're late to the party. I got it. But at least there are people high enough up that have some sense here that were willing to get this message out, because the crypto asset class simply is not going away. It will be here for as long as the internet exists, which will be until our sun is, explodes. Or wait, I can't remember. Is our sun the right size that it can go supernova? Whatever happens, it's going to expand though, and it's going to envelop planets, right? I don't know. I'll Google that after somebody drop it in the comment section, or Google that for me. I don't have to. Otherwise, I'll just have to Google it after this video. But you got that cut on my jib. Until something like that happens, I think the internet's going to continue to exist. So yeah, it's good. So better late than never. Yeah, I would say so. And there are going to be a lot of people that are really going to have to, as they say, I kind of hate this saying, but it just popped in my head, so I'll use it. People are going to have to eat crow, as they say. I don't like that saying. I'm not going to use that again, probably. But they're going to have to eat crow about XRP. Not having staying power, because again, utility matters. Sorry, friends. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for stopping by. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.